Hey guys, what's up? It's Patrick of CoasterFanatics, and today I'm bringing you my list of the top roller coasters at Kings Island. This park has 14 roller coasters, some in which are my favorites in their respective class. Kings Island is home to my favorite wood coaster, my favorite invert, and my favorite hypercoaster. Stay tuned to see where I rank them with the rest of the coasters at Kings Island. Kicking off this list are the 3 kiddie and family coasters. At the number 14 spot, I have the Great Pumpkin Coaster made by E&F Miller Industries. At 13, I have the Flying Ace Aerial Chase, the Vekoma Suspended Family Coaster. And at number 12, I have the Woodstock Express, the Philadelphia Toboggan Wood Coaster. Next, in the number 11 spot, I have Vortex, the Aerodynamics Looping Coaster. Vortex is one of my most hated roller coasters. In fact, I was tempted to put the kiddie coasters in front of it. Vortex is actually a nice looking roller coaster, almost like a work of art. The loops and the corkscrews are eye-catching, and it makes people think, wow, I want to ride that. Unfortunately, this ride isn't as great as it looks. I've been on Vortex twice now, and both times were unbearably rough. It is very bumpy even in the straight sections, and you are almost guaranteed to get some headbanging through the inversions. This is one roller coaster at Kings Island that I don't recommend riding. I know I don't plan on ever riding it again unless they retrack it, of course. Sitting at the number 10 spot, I have Vertigo, the inverted Vekoma boomerang coaster. Vertigo is actually my favorite boomerang. I know many people say that it's rough, but it has always been a good ride for me. Vertigo is one of the few boomerangs that are inverted and have seats facing each other. This is a nice feature if you are riding with a big group. That all being said, Vertigo is just one of tons of boomerangs out there, which is why it ranks so low on this list. Alright, for number 9, we have the Backlot Stunt Coaster made by Premier Rides. This is a very fun coaster, you guys. It is really nice for just about the whole family. It does have a launch, but it is not as forceful as some of the other launch coasters out there. The Backlot Stunt Coaster used to be themed to the Italian Job. That theming has since been removed. Today it still has a great stunt theme with lots of effects, like fire and a helicopter that appears to shoot at the train. This is one of the more popular rides at Kings Island, and it almost always has a big line. Next, in the number 8 spot, I have the Racer, the Philadelphia Toboggan Racing Coaster. This is the first roller coaster to open at Kings Island, and one of the few original rides still in operation today. The Racer is a fun coaster, but it is not super thrilling, because it's a pretty basic roller coaster. It's mostly just a bunch of hills and a turnaround. Also, I like racing coasters that stay side by side. On the Racer, the trains split apart from each other on the turnaround, which takes the fun out of it for me. Really, it's not a bad coaster. There are just better ones out there, which is why it ranks so low. For number 7, I have Firehawk, the Vekoma Flying Dutchman coaster. There are only 3 of these coasters in the United States, and I've been on 2 of them. Firehawk seems to be the better of the 2. It's not as rough as people make it out to be. The only thing that I hate about Firehawk is that you have to lay on your back and face the sun. If you don't have sunglasses on, it isn't that pleasant at all. But the ride itself is fun, especially going through the loop, which is pretty intense. As good as it still isn't quite as good as my number 6, and that's Flight of Fear, the Premier Rides Catapult Coaster. There's nothing like a good indoor coaster, you guys. Flight of Fear was the first roller coaster to feature a linear induction motor launch, and it's a good one. The ride itself is great. It is totally dark inside, making it near impossible to see what's going to happen next. It's so wild that it's hard to even tell if you're upside down or not. But the really great thing about this ride is that it's air conditioned. Sometimes it's nice to get out of the sun and cool off. Flight of Fear does that and provide thrills at the same time. My top 5 are all my favorites in their respective categories. In the number 5 spot, I have Adventure Express, the Aerodynamics Mine Train Coaster. Adventure Express is my favorite mine coaster. I love how this coaster kind of drops you right out of the station. It also has a great theme with the Stone Warriors at the end of the ride, and it's overall much smoother than the other Aero Mine Train coasters I've been on. Adventure Express is fun for the whole family, and it is an underrated star attraction at Kings Island. I highly recommend riding it. Our next coaster is also very underrated. Sitting at the number 4 spot, I have the Bat, the Aerodynamic Suspended Coaster. The Bat is a very secluded coaster. You can find the entrance to it next to the Banshee. The bat was built inside of a ravine and it is kind of a long walk to get to it. In fact, some visitors don't even know it's there. The bat is a very thrilling ride. This suspended coaster really swings you around and gets you close to track supports, which is awesome. It is also a very underrated night ride. I highly recommend riding the Bat and Banshee together. They are a great 1-2 punch. My top 3 are honestly interchangeable because they are all great rides. At number 3, I have my favorite hypercoaster, Diamondback, made by B&M. Diamondback is the tallest coaster at Kings Island, and it is a favorite by many enthusiasts. It is very smooth and full of airtime, especially in the first hill after the drop. You feel like you're floating forever at that part. Diamondback is known for its splashdown element at the end of the ride. It is very cool to see and it is a great spot for pictures. Diamondback has good operations, but it is still usually the longest wait in the park, which is all worth it. This coaster has great theming as well. The trains look like a snake, and the dark red track and yellow supports really stand out. From what I hear, Diamondback has a really good night ride as well. I hope to try it at night this summer when I go to ride the new Mystic Timbers. Next, at the number 2 spot, I have Banshee, the B&M inverted coaster. Banshee has changed how I look at inverted coasters. It is the only one that I've been on that has the B&M vest restraint, which I love. I liked it so much that it is now my number 1 invert. Banshee is very smooth and has 7 awesome inversions. It is considered the longest invert in the world, which is a big plus for me because I love long rides. Banshee has an awesome theme and arguably has the best logo of any roller coaster in the world. The purple track with blue supports really stand out, and the Banshee screams you hear when you reach the top of the lift hill are unforgettable. Banshee is one of the best B&Ms ever built in my opinion, and I highly recommend riding it. It isn't quite as good as my number 1 coaster, however. You guys probably guessed that my number 1 is, of course, the Beast. The Beast to me is the best wooden roller coaster ever built, and no doubt the best at Kings Island. The Beast was built in 1979. It was so far ahead of its time. Here we are 38 years later, and the Beast is still the largest wooden roller coaster in the world. Many of the other enthusiasts will tell you that the Beast has no airtime and it has no exciting elements, and quite frankly they are kind of right. But it's not the elements that make a roller coaster great, you guys. It's more about the overall ride experience. Things like the location, the theme, and the smoothness of the ride. When it comes to the Beast, what really draws me is the nostalgia. It's amazing that this coaster still gives the quality rides that it does. They have slowed it down quite a bit with trim brakes, but it is not over the top. I love the seclusion of the forest ride that the Beast gives. You go so far into the forest that you forget you're even at a theme park. The best part is the final drop. It banks you to the side 18 degrees before hitting a massive double helix, which is mostly enclosed by tunnels. For me, what really puts the Beast at the number 1 spot is of course the legendary night ride. The Beast gives the best night ride of any roller coaster in the world as far as I'm concerned. The whole ride is complete darkness. The only light you get is from the stars, the moon, and some lights from the lift hill. It is a fantastic experience and it should be on everyone's coaster bucket list. Be prepared to wait a while though. The Beast has very long wait times at night. So there you have it, you guys. That was my list of the top roller coasters at Kings Island. Of course, this list will change slightly once I ride Mystic Timbers next summer. If I had to guess, it would probably make my top 5, somewhere around the 4 or 5 spot. So, do you guys agree with my Kings Island list? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section and share your favorite coasters list. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button. And if you're new around here, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, you guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you all on the next video very, very soon.